What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining. My name is Joe, and here we talk and review movies. And guys, as always, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Very much appreciate it. Continuing the Zack Snyder DCEU trilogy, I want to talk to you now about Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This was a movie that came out back in 2016. I remember going to see it in theaters with a bunch of friends. We were all very excited. And I think a lot of us left the theater with very, very mixed feelings, myself in particular. So, with that being said, let's get into the review. The first 10 minutes take place during the events of the destruction of Metropolis. And we get to see it from the perspective of the civilians. More specifically, we get to see the perspective of Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne isn't afraid to go right into the battle to help as many people as he can. There's a great sequence where this building is collapsing and you see all the debris and smoke coming from it and people are running away from it, but Bruce Wayne is running directly into it. We get a great shot of Bruce Wayne looking up into the sky, seeing Superman taking down Zod from space, and right away they establish Batman's motivations for hating Superman. Cut to about a year and a half later, where Clark Kent is now settled in the Daily Planet.
I want you to go over to Gotham, follow up on the football. Underdog dreams dashed 10 yards between Gotham and glory.
Superman is also dealing with the consequences of a mission he was on, where a lot of people in this village were killed, and people are pointing the fingers at Superman. They even have a witness saying that yes, Superman did do these things, and that it's not fair for someone like him with this amount of power to be able to just come and decide who lives and who dies. But then we also have Lex Luthor in the background. He has his own sinister plan as to dealing with Superman. And then you have Lois Lane, who's dealing with her own investigation into the attacks and murders of the villagers from the first mission. So guys, right off the bat, what do I like about this movie? I admire Zack Snyder and his team for sticking with this tone that they have found with Man of Steel. This is very desaturated, it's very dark, edgy, grounded in reality. And the reason I enjoy it is not only because I think the team did a wonderful job, but it's just the idea that, you know what, this is just another person's vision of this world. And I admire them for just saying, you know what, we've set it up, we're just going to stick with it and we're going to go with it. The cinematography in this movie, the lighting. A lot of this movie takes place at night because you're throwing Batman into the mix, but these guys did their work, did their job, and presented some of the best night sequences I've ever seen, especially in terms of the action. And speaking of just the Batman, Ben Affleck. This is inspired by The Dark Knight Returns, and if you haven't read that graphic novel or seen the animated film that it's based on, go check those out because it's a great read. It's also a great viewing experience too. And this Batman is highly inspired by that version of the character. And what I love so much about that is that we have a Batman that is broken, we have a Batman that is pissed off. Batman murders people. Loads of goons die, and we get to see a lot more of him being as a detective. I liked to see Bruce Wayne sort of going from place to place, sort of putting on the playboy billionaire, but when he turns around, he's not talking to other people, you see his facial expressions immediately change and he goes back to that detective side. Jeremy Irons is a terrific Alfred. I like that Alfred is starting to doubt Bruce's intentions.
You're gonna go to war. That son of a bitch brought the war to us. But he is not our enemy.
I love that this Alfred cracks jokes. We get to see him on more of the tech side of things. We get to see him working on equipment, helping with the voice changer. That's another thing about this Batman that I love, the voice changer.
Funnel fairy butterbar, funnel fairy butterbar, funnel fairy butterbar, funnel.
It pretty much it just establishes where their relationship is at this moment in time. The fight between Batman and Superman, while it is short, it's still exciting and it is well done. It's just more of how the fight ends that I really have issues with, and I'll talk more about that later. Gal Gadot, I felt she had command of the scenes that she was in. I was intrigued and I was pulled in by what was happening with this character. And then when she shows up at the end with the final fight, you know, that was an exciting moment. And it was great to see, you know, Wonder Woman do the things that we know that she can do. The lasso of truth, or like her arm braces. And it was also great to see moments where, like, in the final fight, if she got hit down, she'd look back up and smile and just go right back at the person that hit her or the monster that hit her. And that was fun to see because it made me go, you know what? I can get behind this actress playing this character. I want to see her standalone movie. There are hints of subtle moments sprinkled in throughout the movie. One particular moment is at Lex Luthor's party where Clark and Bruce Wayne have been invited. Clark is there on a job. Bruce is there to steal data from Lex Luthor. You get a moment where Clark overhears Alfred talking to Bruce, and when they finally meet, there are moments where I think at this point they must know who each other is. The way they're throwing shade at one another, the way that they're staring down one another, it just says to me, they have to know. So guys, those are my positives for Batman v Superman. Let's get into the negatives. I like Henry Cavill very much, but this is not one of my favorite performances by him. Because this Superman just hates being Superman. He thinks it's just taking a toll on him. He wants to be a normal person. He just feels like he doesn't want to do this anymore. The whole montage with him just like being so mopey and being like, oh, I don't want to be Superman anymore. It's just like, oh my god. And again, I don't hate Henry Cavill in this movie, but his performance does feel very wooden. It just feels like he's uninterested in what he's doing, and maybe that's just because that was the direction he was given. I thought his performance in Man of Steel was much better, and this was kind of disappointing to me. Let's talk about the crown jewel of this movie, and that is Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. He's not the first actor I would go to when casting a character like this. And then they sent out that publicity shot of Jesse Eisenberg with his head shaved. And I remember thinking, maybe this could work. He's got the look. They could possibly go for this sort of Mark Zuckerberg tycoon type character. No, it just does not work. He is too bizarre. He has these weird tics. True! I'll learn. Is that supposed to be the indication that he's insane because he does these weird like quirks and tics? Lex Luthor's plan also just doesn't make sense to me. How he tries to put these two against one another, it just doesn't work. We could have probably gotten a terrifying performance, but instead we have a more laughable performance. And I like Jesse Eisenberg very much, but in my opinion, this is one of his worst performances of all time. Doomsday. Yes, Doomsday is in this movie. Forgive me for beating a dead horse, but like, yeah, he looks like a cave troll from Lord of the Rings. And that's sad because Doomsday is a cool character. You know, and I was really hoping that maybe one day we would get to see Superman and Doomsday fight, but the fact that they brought it into the second movie, it just makes me go like, why are you bringing this character in? So, you know, the Doomsday stuff to me, it didn't work. The story is very convoluted. The story needs a lot of work. You know, there are too many subplots going on. The whole Batman and Superman saving people, Batman trying to get kryptonite, the Batman versus Superman fight, the Doomsday fight, pee in a jar. You know, it's so all over the place that I can't focus. I will say this, the Ultimate Edition, it does tighten up some of those sequences that just felt really cut down or out of place. A few of the things that I just want to mention. How the Batman and Superman fight ends. Really, this is how you end the fight? This is what stops it?
Save Martha! Why did you say that name?
It's his mother's name.
It's so silly. And guys, my last negative aspect of this movie that I don't like, it's the setup for the Justice League. It just feels so forced into the movie. The whole email thing, the logos that I guess Lex Luthor designed for each one, for Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg. Like, you already had Wonder Woman in the mix. I think that right there alone was good enough to be like, oh, maybe there will be a Justice League. And I can't help but compare it to Marvel because Marvel did a better job. Marvel did a better job of exploring these characters, letting them grow, letting us grow with them. And then when they finally come together, You are excited. You understand how they came together. But here, it's just like, hey guys, you like Justice League? Well, they're coming soon. Be ready. Look at our little teaser. So guys, overall, what are my thoughts on Batman v Superman? I think this movie is a good movie. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. But I do think it's a movie that has story issues. The story is very convoluted. There are subplots in here that I don't think need to be in here. Some of the performances are not great. As I said before, I don't love Henry Cavill, but he's nowhere near as bad as Jesse Eisenberg, that's for sure. But Ben Affleck is a wonderful Batman. Gal Gadot is perfect as Wonder Woman. The action sequences are fantastic. The visuals, the lighting, the cinematography, it's all handled perfectly. The tone, Zack Snyder's team went for, they stuck to their guns and did it, so I respect them 100% for that. So guys, that's my review for Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Thank you so much for watching. I really had a good time making this. And as always guys, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button down below and look forward to more content coming your way. Thanks very much.